Hello and welcome to Lansdowne. We're David Dunn here, joined by Conor McAvoy, and we are live here on YouTube, Facebook, and of course over on Twitter. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. Tonight we're going to be talking about Brilliant Bazunu, fantastic performance against Club Brugge, which is the Finnish and David Dunn pronunciation of that. There goes my joke. And of course, 67 clubs have applied to be a part of the League of Ireland third tier. And of course, we have all the latest news, and we have a look at how our boys of green got on across the water. So you're very welcome. Conor, how is it going?
I'm grand. It's been a busy weekend for tweeting wise and rep tracker wise and just everything wise.
I should have said brew, shouldn't I? I should have gone forgo the fucking what's the word? Yeah, continue.
You still haven't recovered from our video the other day. That's what's wrong with you about the top 10 Irish players the last century or century decade. I think you haven't recovered from that, which has been safe to say. Anyone that disagreed with you in the comments, I full on agreed with you. And just all I got to say is I'm good. Been a bit of a boring weekend football wise, to be honest. Nothing's really happened other than the League of Ireland. I was looking forward to watching Rovers and Cork today, and then lo and behold, third pitch inspection of the day, and it gets cancelled. But I'm all right. How are you doing?
I am good. I'm very good. Thank you very much. Other than my slight hiccup, pretentious was the word I was looking for. I should have just gone with the pronunciation of Club Brugge, but then I went down the pretentious route, trying to say Brugge because that's Flemish. Or anyway, all good. Yes, lots of feedback on the last video we did. Top 10 players of 2010 to 2020. Apparently, my comments about Shane Long were shameful. Which I sort of fired back and went, no, it's my opinion, and I'm entitled to my opinion. So, just because it differs from your opinion doesn't make it shameful. I was going to go on a rant saying, well, actually, no, but I didn't. It's good. Of course, Ireland won the Triple Crown yesterday against Wales, which I was very pleased with. I was watching that at work. A friend of mine is actually at work. He's Welsh, and he loves his rugby. We were so both watching it at work on the BBC iPlayer on my phone. And of course, when he thought he was all clever when Wales took the lead. Of course, Ireland came back and won. It was very good. Played for 20 minutes with 14 men. Came back, did really well. Bundy Aki really turned the game over, I felt.
Yeah, but off the ball, not say that we could beat them with 12 men. Didn't they state a couple of weeks ago? Someone off the ball said that Ireland could beat them if they only had 12 men in the pitch.
Probably could have won a Warren Gatland. No, well, to be fair, probably could have won a Warren Gatland. First time I've ever seen a team sack their in the middle of the Six Nations. I've never seen that, ever. Doesn't happen. And we've had some stinkers, and but he was fired. So probably on the Warren Gatland, yeah. But they changed. I think they have an interim management setup of some ex-players at the moment. I don't fully know. So yeah, it was a bit different. They looked a bit better. But yeah, no, Ireland just did enough. Went through the gears, and I kept going over to my friend, and I was like, "What's this?" Because we won the Triple Crown. I said, "What's that?" He goes, "What, a crown?" "No, a Triple Crown." And I kept winding him up all day. So if you speak to a member of the public, I'll be in the distance just going like that. And he couldn't do anything because I'm a I'm a bastard. That's why. But no, yeah, it was good, man. Good day today. Liverpool doing the business against Man City. Oh, you love to see it, don't you? That goes out to my friends watching. My Man United friends. You know who you are.
I don't think anyone really cares anymore. Like,
no.
I don't think anyone's anymore.
Oh, yes, we don't care anymore.
I think everyone's more affected that Rovers didn't qualify past Molde, but no one cares about Man United anymore and English football anymore. We all move on. English football dead. Irish football is where it's at.
Yeah, well, it wasn't today, was it? But yeah, no, it was a good week. Of course, folks, other than the banter we were supposed to do at the beginning, I guess. We had a producer. If we worked for Sky Sports now, they'd be like screaming banter. But it's all natural with us, Conor, isn't it? We really do hate each other.
It's fucking bullshit. That's what it is. That's all I have to say. After what's happened the other day, I'm actually traumatized after stuff you said. If anyone hasn't watched the video of the top 10 players, it's actually a funny video. It's a good laugh. But Jesus, oh my God, the pair of idiots pick. Some of the people use pick your top 10.
He gets
Martin with his stats.
Don't start having a go at Martin. He's not here to defend himself.
And you with your, I don't even want to say one of the names you put in the top 10. I'm not even going to say one of the names.
If you've watched, you know what this means. You know what this means. Now, I'll tell you what, folks. Take a look at it. It's there in the archives. It's YouTube only for the moment. It's a YouTube. I don't know why it's not on the on lansdowneroar.ie if you want to get an audio version of this, because it's actually just no real visuals. We just stayed up till 2:30 in the morning recording it. Gobshite here stayed up till God knows what time fucking editing the thing and uploading it. But yeah, it's basically, it should actually be called Conor Gets Taken to School. That's what it should actually be called, not the top 10 players of 2010 to 2020. I mean, to be fair, it's pretty slim pickings, isn't it? But anyway, so that's where we're at. Now, of course, folks, if this is your first time watching Lansdowne Roar live, you're very welcome, of course. If you're watching over on Rep Tracker, of course, you want to give Conor a follow over on Twitter and Facebook and watch and steal his breaking news. like another entity, shall we say, does, and then repackages for themselves. Yeah, you can head over to his Facebook and of course his Twitter page is at RepTrack if you want to find out the latest news and what's going on with our current and future boys and girls in green. That's where to go before someone else sneaks it. You know who you are. Yeah, and of course, this is your podcast as well. We're going to be live, hopefully, for about the next hour and a half. We always say that, and then we go overboard because we just enjoy speaking to the Roar faithful. See the comments coming in thick and fast. That's what we love to see. But of course, folks, if you're watching for the first time, have your say, leave a comment, get involved. You can ask us a question about whatever we're speaking about, or you can literally ask us a question about anything. Ask Conor if you want to know about a player's eligibility, that sort of thing. Or you want to know who indeed was the top 10 players between 2010 and 2020, you can ask me anything you want. It's there. Just keep it classy. But we're pretty much uncensored here, as we are the voice of the fans. Now, before we do that, I'm just going to play you a little video. We are growing over on lansdowneroar.ie. We have opinion writers over there. And if you are interested in any form of Irish football, I want you to pay, and you want to get involved, pay attention to this video. A very, very sexy man, albeit with a dodgy haircut, is about to speak to you. How's it going? David Dunn here from Lansdowne Roar, and I am calling out to anybody who wants to write about Irish football. That's right. If you want to write for Lansdowne Roar at lansdowneroar.ie and join our fantastic writers group over there, this is a great opportunity for you. It is a voluntary position, no experience required. However, all we ask is for you to be passionate and consistent, and also be able to string 2 cents together. Sorry, Martin, that leaves you out. It can be any level of Irish football that you want to talk about: men's, women's, seniors, juniors, League of Ireland, school league, anything at all that you want to express yourself about. This is for you. If you are an aspiring sports journalist, it's also a fantastic opportunity for you. We do have a wide reach. Of course, we have a stream every week, as you're probably watching this on now. So it's a great way to get yourself exposed in a positive way. If you want to get in contact, pod at lansdowneroar.ie. Also, Conor at lansdowneroar.ie, David at lansdowneroar.ie, Martin at lansdowneroar.ie. Or you can head over to our Facebook, our Instagram, or our Twitter, and you can contact us directly. Not a problem, and we'll get you sorted there. Apply below now. Apply below now, says that very sexy man on the camera there. And of course, yes, just apply anywhere. We've had loads of content. We've had guys from America, Germany, all getting involved in the writing team. It's fantastic. So why not you out there? You want to get involved in Irish football? Just even put a comment down here. We're very reachable, touchable. Anyway, we're moving on.
Where you go?
Yeah. Well, I suppose, Conor, what should we talk about first? That's how raw we are.
I don't know. We can go on into Bazunu. Let's say I think that's probably the only player.
Oh, wrong one. That's the one. Brilliant Bazunu. There he is there, but at what cost? And people are probably looking at that going, what do we mean by that? Conor, talk us through it.
So I think everyone really knows that. I think a lot of it said in social media today about how well he played for Standard Liège against Club Brugge, as you would say. But their manager said himself that he won him the game. He was excellent. I've seen a lot of, because he had in the first 2 games he got a lot of abuse for his performances because he didn't look that sharp. But no, he was supposedly excellent today. From the clips I've seen, he looked very, very good and back to his old confident self, which is the most important thing. And he's playing at a good level. But I think we've seen at the end a bit of a clash between himself and Simon Mignolet, who was coming up to scored equaliser from a corner, thinking he was Allison or something. But obviously he's Mignolet, so he was never going to do that. Instead, he done the obvious thing and took Bazunu out and made a stretcher come on from at the end to take him off the pitch. I don't know if the stretcher took him off or not, but I imagine it did. But it seems like it was just a contact injury, and I don't think it's like Achilles like it was before, right? Like that.
No, but still pretty reckless. That is a very Mignolet thing to do, isn't it? Really, just take out the other goalkeeper. But no, he did play really well. Apparently, as you say, he won him the game, which is good because he had a bit of a bad start, hasn't he, to the season so far? I'm not saying it's all his fault, but I think 2 losses, wasn't it, before this?
Yeah, it was. It was 2 losses. The first game, he made a couple of goals he probably could have saved, or like at least made a better attempt at. And it's not really what you expect from a top level goalkeeper of his quality. But obviously, as I said to Martin on the show before, I don't care how he played in his first couple of games as long as he was back playing and getting the rhythm back in his legs and getting his agility back. And there's nothing like, especially I'd imagine with a goalkeeper, compared even with outfielders, the intensity as a goalkeeper and probably in a competitive match with a crowd on you, the pressure on you is so much higher. Like when he's playing under 21, so when he's getting his fitness back, like, there's no pressure on him. Even if he makes a mistake, who's going to give out to him? No one's going to set into Bazunu as a 17, 18-year-old. But when you do it in men's football in a league like Belgium is so competitive that there's nothing between the teams really at the highest level. So no, it was good to see him back playing and actually now starting to realise his potential at that level. So it'll be interesting now to see what happens in March if he'll play, but I'd imagine it's extremely unlikely because I imagine Kelleher will play the Carabao Cup final, which is it next week, is it? It's always the last weekend in November or February. So is it next weekend or is it in March, which we hope he plays in?
Yeah. Liverpool play Newcastle next, don't they? It's Newcastle in the final.
Yeah, it's Newcastle.
But do they play him in the league and then the cup? Yeah, they play him.
Do
they? They play him in the league. So just looking here, so they play the day before Paddy's Day in the EFL Cup final. So they play Newcastle on Wednesday, then they play PSG on the 5th of March in the first leg. Then he plays Southampton at home, PSG at home, and then Newcastle in the final, and then Everton on the 2nd of April. So
later this year then.
He could literally play just before the Bulgaria game, literally just before the Bulgaria game. So you reckon, even though it's just one game, and Gavin Bazunu was absolutely like getting loads of performances, loads of appearances in for Standard Liège, that you'd go with Kelleher above him.
I think it's just Kelleher's that good, isn't he? He's just that good. He's just a top goalkeeper, and like I don't think if we've any doubt that Kelleher will come in and play against Bulgaria and do absolutely nothing wrong. And if he has to make a big save, he'll do a big save. He'll make up for big save. So no, it's I don't really think it's really that much of a talking point, to be honest, Steve. But it is. I don't think it's a talking point in terms of the management and stuff. But the fans, I think it could be, because there's a lot of people, like we know a certain person that is on the show that would pick Bazunu every day of the week over Kelleher just because he loves him that much, and like especially
it's because he's a Man United fan. That's why, and he just hates Liverpool.
But I could even imagine now when it comes back to March, and Bazunu will have played whatever another 5-6 games, and if it's 5 even, I know it's 4 weeks, but I don't know if there's any midweek games in Belgium like that. But if he plays 4 or 5 games and Kelleher only plays that one game, I guarantee you Mr. Prendergast will be on here saying that, he has all the rhythm in his legs and he's playing consistently. But no, I think as a non-biased Man United fan, I can say that. No, I think
Kelleher's just a better goalkeeper. He's just a better goalkeeper, and I'm sorry if you're out there and you disagree. Let me know, but you're delusional if you think Bazunu is better goalkeeper than Queeping Kelleher right now. Have at it. That's what I say. Of course, also on the news They're coming in. Actually, we were looking at a bit of a quiet weekend for Irish football. Dan McDonald reported in the Independent, Conor, that came out yesterday. Actually, that apparently there is the FAI are looking for a third tier, aren't they? For Irish football, and apparently they've had 67 applicants for a proposed third tier. So I'm just going to read this bit from Dan McDonald because it was where was it yesterday? It was there was a general assembly meeting on Saturday that the management of legacy debt in the region of 40 million euro is being explored, amongst other things. But that was another thing about the debt. We'll probably have a little chat about that in a second. Let's have a look. Where are we? Sorry, I've lost my train of thought. Here we go. So this is on the 67 clubs or applications for the new third tier. So delegates were told that there have been 67 applications for the new third tier, which has been originally styled as another level for the League of Ireland, but will effectively function as a top level of the amateur game with no plans for professional contracts to be permitted. It is believed there is good regional spread of applications, with the exception of parts of Connacht and Ulster. This will raise questions about how to manage the proposed geographical split into North and South Division. Shamrock Rovers want to bring back their B team to compete in the new initiative, but other League of Ireland sides have not expressed an interest. It remains to be seen if their application will be successful, if the league is going to be completely amateur. There are details to be worked out around how the third tier will align with the League of Ireland, but there are plans for promotion and relegation to exist between the various components of the pyramid. So it's interesting. So I always thought that this was going to be like a third, like a League One job, if we were to use an English comparison. But apparently it's going to be amateur as well. Now, is that because I know the League of Ireland is completely professional now, isn't it?
Yeah, but like for example, like the Leinster Senior League, I'd imagine Munster Senior Leagues, to see them, are all considered amateur leagues. But I know that people that make very good money playing at that level, so I'd imagine it's still that sort of job. It's still people are still getting paid and they're still getting their expenses, and they're still, I know technically I imagine it's amateur and probably the teams are training only a few times a week. But I know I think the big talk point in terms of that is, all right, other than the geographical thing, is about Rovers B coming in and people being anti that, and then all about professionals, because you'll have, the more we're getting on now and the more investment in Irish footballers getting, and clubs are starting to grow, that means more young lads are going to be offered contracts as professional to keep them in Ireland, basically. And obviously there'll be lads that wouldn't be ready for a club like Shamrock Rovers instantly, so they'd be put into a B team to get men's experience. But the thing is, are they going to be allowed to play in that level because they're on a pro contract? I think it'd be very unfair to say they couldn't. But would that be an FAI thing to not let them play in it because they're on a professional contract? Would be ridiculous. A 16-year-old lad, for example, that's signing his first pro deal, and it's for the benefit of the club that they're getting them on a pro deal for long-term potential gain from them. But no, I'm a big fan of I know a lot of people are very against Rovers B. I don't know what you're like, Dave, but I think for every country, like we see, other than England, because everyone's fixated on England, every country has B teams, or they have a different name for it. They wouldn't call them I know Barcelona B. I don't know if it's called Barcelona B anymore, but Real Madrid's B team isn't called Real Madrid B. But no, I think if they come in, I'd like to see them Cork of a B team, Pats of a B team. Obviously, geographically, it probably wouldn't be too good because most of the teams are down from Dublin. I say from Dublin down in terms of looking at the map wise. But like, as someone from Monaghan, I don't think we'll ever see Monaghan United or even a team from Cavan ever come into it because there's just not the appetite for it. But I don't know what you think, Dave.
It's a double-edged sword, because on one hand, you're getting players that probably wouldn't get a chance to playing, which is good. It could encourage a team like Shamrock Rovers to take on more. They have the ability now, especially how well they've done in Europe, to probably take on more players, and they can play regularly and get those very valuable minutes. On the other hand, though, they can never be promoted.
Yeah.
So what are you really playing for? It's the same with the Real Madrid team, B team in Segunda and all that. They can never be promoted. So you kind of say, well, what's the point? And that was probably more down to them having a bloated playing staff than anything. I don't know the origins of the B team.
Well, Dave, do you want me to come back to there? From some of the lads that you might say that would have got men's experience in that season, that one season had a B team. They had Sinclair Armstrong, Idemo Maku, Kevin Zeffy, Sam Curtis, Ben Curtis, Killian Cahill, who's the goalkeeper, right? He was at the Ireland 21s.
Yeah.
Sean Brennan. Like, they had so many lads that wouldn't have got, but then they ended up getting first team experience playing at that level as a young kid playing against men, which obviously you can see now a lot of them are very, very good footballers that benefit from it. I just don't see the huge issue with it. I know they think of not getting promoted and it makes them not as competitive, but I just think for development wise of footballers in Ireland, and some, like, you could produce a gem that mightn't shine as much as underage football, and then when they come to men's football, they might go to another level. Like, because a lot of lads you see in Ireland is at 16, 17, a lot of them probably are actually ready to test themselves in men's football, but they're not going to get that opportunity until they turn 18, 19, and that extra year or two can make a difference.
No, I agree with all that. And I do agree with all that. I'm obviously just trying to play devil's advocate here as well. That's what people are probably thinking. But also, I do understand that Irish football is very unique. I mean, English football is very unique. There's 92 clubs, and each have incredible history, fantastic history. You know, you look at AFC Wimbledon for a start. I know, you know, and MK Dons. You look at that. You look at teams like Charlton that are in League One. Fantastic history. 30,000 seater stadium. I've been to it. It's huge. It's a little bit run down now, but it's a massive ground. You know, and you look at teams like Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United, in the Championship, Leeds United. You know, almost won the European Cup. A massive club. So England's very unique in that aspect as well. I just think for me, ideally, I'd love to see. I just want to see more clubs. I want to see a Monaghan United again. I want to see Kilkenny City. I want to see all these clubs that they're now defunct come up again, because there's so much potential around the island of Ireland. I would just love to see that. But I suppose if that isn't, we can't sit around and wait for those clubs to hopefully develop. You know, and if they have a glut of players that need to play, which will be beneficiaries. You say players like Sinclair Armstrong. I was about to say Trevor Sinclair Armstrong, or Kevin Zeffy's over at Roma at the moment, although for how long? It does benefit them. So yeah, we have to cut our cloth accordingly. So yeah, I would be for it, but I could see the arguments against it, because I like promotion, relegation, that kind of thing. But I do understand it, and until we have a fair balance, our football in Ireland seems to be quite centralised a little bit. Around Dublin. Around Dublin, of course, and hopefully that will spread out amongst the country. But until it does, then yeah, maybe until you get like a loan system in where you could have those players being loaned further afield to other clubs. But until they pop up, yeah, I do agree with a B team.
And I think there's been I imagine like quite a of the 67. I could imagine there's been quite a large number. I know it won't be more than 20, but quite a large number of teams from Dublin that have applied to join this, and which you can't really come up against, because there's a lot of very good clubs you see in Dublin have great facilities to play at a so-called amateur level, and it's just the problem is how are you going to spread it about the country? I highly doubt there's a team from Monaghan applied, a team from Cavan, or a team from, I don't know, even a team from the north in general. I think that's a big thing that would be a huge asset for the long-term benefit of Irish football, would get another team from the north, even if a team was founded in Belfast as such, and we started to have the influx of people going up and down to Belfast to matches, lads coming, because obviously I don't want to make anything controversial, but there's a lot of Catholics that be from Belfast that would probably love to play for Ireland, but because they're never really playing against teams from the south, you wouldn't really have FAI scouts up there at a younger age, and once they're in the Northern Ireland setup, but
it'd be to the south, wouldn't it? Really?
Yeah, so I'd love a team from the north to join back in. And I know a lot of people saying they need permission from the IFA and from FIFA and stuff, but I'd imagine it wouldn't be as bad if it was a new club coming together. But I'd imagine that makes everything a lot harder. But it would be great, even just for cross-border stuff, and the bet like we see with Derry being in the League of Ireland, it's brilliant. So hopefully, I would love to see even one of the 67 teams be from the north.
Yeah, I think Derry got they were amateur, weren't they? They were part of the Irish League, and then they were amateur, and I think they came back. They just because of all the troubles.
They're technically they're the only team. They're the only team, I think, in Europe that have ever played in so-called two countries, but obviously it's one, but in two countries as such.
Yeah. And then I think it was 87. Then he got special dispensation from UEFA and FIFA to play in the Republic. Yeah. So interesting. Right. Shall we? What do you guys think about that? Let us know in the comments below. Your comments are flooding in. We will get to those shortly. Conor, I fancy a little bit of OBIG. What you reckon?
Yeah,
should we do it?
Get
stuck in. Right. Let's start with the goalkeepers. As always, folks, I do the research, and then Conor corrects the mistakes. Are you ready, Conor?
Go on.
Let's do it. So we're going to look at the goalkeepers first. Caoimhín Kelleher on you sub, and that brilliant 2-0 win for Liverpool against Man City. Mark Travers, 90 minutes and a 2-1 loss against Bristol for Middlesbrough. Max O'Leary, 90 minutes in that 2-1 win against Middlesbrough for Bristol City. Josh Keeley, 90 minutes and a 2-1 loss against Bolton for Leyton Orient. And Gavin Bazunu, 2-1 win over Club Brugge. Standard. Yeah, you see, I didn't balls it up that particular time. Yeah. Happy, Conor, about all of that?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very happy about Caoimhín Kelleher match, of course, the way he just sat there and inspired the team on to another victory. 11 points cleared of the English Premier League.
He led from the bench, didn't he?
He did. He absolutely just sits. He glows. He glows, Conor. He absolutely glows.
Looks like have you seen his mustache? He says he looks like Mr. Pringle.
Does he have a mustache, does he?
Yeah, he has a mustache. I don't know if anyone knows. He looks like Mr. Pringle.
Hold on. Mustache. I need to see this. Where is he? Caoimhín Kelleher mustache. No, you're lying. I don't see him.
Hold on. I will send it to you on WhatsApp.
Give me a picture. I need to see that. Right. Let's move it on to the defenders. Are you ready? Are you paying attention?
Yeah,
I need you to correct my mistakes, Conor. Right, here we go. Let's go on to the defenders. Seamus Coleman not in the squad. I think he's just not going to play for the rest of the season, Seamus Coleman. Darragh O'Shea, 90 minutes in a 4-1 loss against Spurs for Ipswich. Nathan Collins, 4-0 win, 90 minutes over Leicester for Brentford. Liam Scales, unused sub for Celtic. Will he be there next season? I wonder. Shane Duffy, 90 minutes in a 4-2 win over Stoke City for Norwich. Mark McGuinness not in the squad for Luton Town game. Conor, I know you're going to expand on that. Callum McDowell, 90 minutes in a 1-1 draw at Plymouth for Cardiff. Matt Doherty, 90 minutes in a 1-0 win, a shock 1-0 win over Bournemouth for Wolves. Jake O'Brien, 90 minutes as a right back in a capitulation against Man United for Everton. Ryan Manning, an unused sub for Southampton. Andrew Amabamadeli, injured last week. No sign of him again this week. We're going to talk about that. Robbie Brady, 25 minutes and 2-1 loss against Coventry. Preston. Jimmy Dunn got a goal in a 2-1 loss against Portsmouth for QPR. John Egan, only 20 minutes this week in a 1-0 win over Sunderland for Hull. Aaron Cashin, unused sub for Brighton. Is he starting to regret that move? Hasn't played a minute for them. Asemlo Garcia McNulty, he will feature on the 2nd of March when he come back next week. Will Ferry, 90 minutes in a 1-0 win over Motherwell for Dundee United. And James Abankwah, 78 minutes as a centre back. I think he came off with a knock, did he? 2-0 win over Luton. Just want to talk about Aaron Cashin. Hasn't played a minute for Brighton. What's going on?
Don't know. I think Hurstor's a bit of a fraud. I don't like him at Brighton, to be honest. He seems to be a terrible manager, to be honest. He doesn't seem to give anyone a chance. There's a lot of boys that think Gruder, March, even Matt O'Reilly, who came in with big hype from Celtic, he just seems to stick with his set 13-14 and doesn't seem to switch. Hopefully, I don't think it will be long, to be honest, before Cashin gets a chance. I do think it's all this BS that managers come out with. Oh, he has to adapt to our system and all this, and he hasn't been in our system long enough. But I do think he will. I've as much as you know, I rate him very highly, and I think it will come. I just don't think we can expect him to be walking into the team or getting that much game time that soon. But I'd love to see it, because I think as soon as he gets into the Brighton team, he'll be in the Ireland team, and I think he's ready to right now. But on merit, you can't pick him.
No, absolutely not. So right now he doesn't get into the March squad unless there's an injury crisis. Mark McGuinness, sorry. No, Mark McGuinness
has an ankle injury. I think he's ankle. So I think he's all right. It's said on the Luton tweet I've seen he has a knock to his ankle, so I'd imagine it's not too bad. And I'd imagine he'd be one. But Luton are bottom of the league, aren't they? And he signed for 10 million this summer, and he went from another relegation battle to another. But he's a good player. But as bad as Luton are, it seems that he hasn't really done much wrong, which isn't a bad thing. But he's He's very talented. Obviously, you have Jimmy Dunn scored a lovely chip the other day, if you've seen that. Ryan Manning is just doing a Ryan Manning, not getting playing again. Obviously, Will Ferry is impressing again. I seen yesterday he got man the match for Dundee United, saying how good he was, saying he was absolutely brilliant up and down the wing for 90 minutes. Obviously, the Scottish League isn't that special, but he seems to be really, really well. And I've seen a lot of comments saying that Ireland must have some of the best left backs in the world if they're not picking Will Ferry. So obviously, I'd imagine he won't be at Dundee United after this summer, which is a good sign because he was a winger turned fullback, which he's doing very well at.
How about James Banquet, though? Did he take a knock, did you say earlier on in the WhatsApp group?
Yeah, he did. He came off with a knock with like 12 minutes ago, but he walked off. So I think he's all right. And he's posted on Instagram celebrating the Derby win. So usually when that's probably not, hasn't affected him. And he was absolutely brilliant again today. He's playing as a left centre back at the moment, showing his versatility. I think a position that he only started playing since he went to Watford the last couple of weeks. And now, as you know, I think James Bank was absolutely brilliant. And I'd love to see him come into the squad in March. It's just whether did it want to bring in another young centre half, because actually we never spoke about Omar Bamadeli. I think he could be out until the international window, so he mightn't be able to come in. But I know Omar Bamadeli is one that adores playing for Ireland, so I'd imagine he'll just, if he's back in time to play for Ireland, he'll make sure he's back. So
yeah. I worry about Andrew Bamadeli though. Like he's a young lad. He's getting lots of injuries. He doesn't. I think he's going to be one of those. I don't think we're going to see the best of him. He's getting too many knocks, Conor. He's too young to be getting all these knocks, and he just cannot get a run of games together at all. I've never known him to get a run of games since he's come on the radar. Genuine, he hasn't.
Yeah, he's been very unlucky. I know a lot of something like the back injury he had, like when he had a back injury like that, that's just complete unlucky. But like, yeah, some of the ones like the patella one, and now I think it's a calf injury he has. I don't know how he picked it up, but
I know it's terrible. Like he's such a talented lad, but she can't stay fit, you know. And but looking here, the championship, Luton Town bottom, Derby County just over the Plymouth Argyle, 22nd position. That's the three relegation places there. Cardiff City, of course, they've got Callum Robinson and Callum O'Dowda. Their whole city with John Egan in it. Also Stoke City in 19th. There's a lot of Irish interest in that relegation battle at the bottom of the championship, which doesn't look too good. Right, we're going to move it on to the midfield. Josh Cullen, 90 minutes in a rare 4-0 win for Burnley. Love it 0-0 all they do. Jason Knight, 90 minutes and 2-1 win over Middlesbrough. Jason Malumbi, 90 minutes and a 2-0 win over Oxford. Vinazaz, 7 minutes and a 2-1 loss against Bristol. Andy Moore in 90 minutes and an assist and a 4-2 loss against Norwich for Stoke City. Jack Taylor, 38 minutes and 4-1 loss against Spurs. They are shite, Ipswich. Jamie McGrath is still out injured for Aberdeen. Will Smallbone, 18 minutes and a 4-0 loss against Brighton for Southampton. They are also shite as well. Let's call it as it is. Alan Brown on ESO for Sunderland. Good to see him back in the bench. He was out for a while. Only Mr. Dependable. Mark Sykes, 63 minutes, a 2-1 win over Middlesbrough for Bristol City. And Luke O'Connell, 90 minutes and a 1-0 win over Rotherham for Barnsley. Boston Lowell, not in the squad for Stoke. Sorry, Conor. Conor Coventry, 86 minutes and a 3-0 win over Exeter for Charlton. And Rockavatten on ESO for Watford. And, well, John Joe Patrick Finn, he got 45 minutes and 1-0 loss against Rennes, where 2 players were sent off for Stade Rennes. I suppose he didn't play at all before that. Boston Lowell, not even in the squad. It's just not going to happen for him with Stoke, is it?
No, it makes me want to cry. It's enough to make a grown man cry, this situation with Boston and Stoke, but I don't worry. I have every faith that Boston still could be a top player. It's just he's going through a bad year at the moment with that injury he had and coming back, and the new manager coming in at Stoke, and I don't know what it is. Hopefully, I know once he gets his chance, he'll take it. It's just give him a bloody chance. Like, I know he played a couple of 90 minutes now for the 21s, which obviously is more of a benefit than sitting on the bench doing nothing, but I just want to see him play because I love seeing him play because he's a joy to watch. Like, but it's doing my head in.
Calm down. Jesus.
Doing my head in. We're not seeing him play at the moment.
Get his kicked off.
He should be in Ireland squad. He should be in Ireland squad. I've watched the compilation on Twitter enough times.
You've watched the combination on Twitter.
Compilation.
Okay. And this guy lectured me on my selection for the top 10, and he's watching compilations on Twitter. You can check that out, by the way, in the archives on the YouTube channel. You cheeky bastard.
No, I try to watch the videos from his last season competition. I'm telling you, you'd be there, you'd be like, is this Yaya Toure?
What about your other boy, Finazaz? He's gone off the boil, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been very mercifully, to be honest, like, as the leader of fan
club.
Not
going to get any joy out of it.
No, fan club great at the moment, but no, he'll be back. I seen Middlesbrough because I watched the game the other night whilst I was watching the League of Ireland at the same time, and a certain someone was unbelievable again, but we will get on to him. I don't even need to say his name, the greatest player of all time. But Finazaz didn't play much, didn't play 7 minutes. I seen Middlesbrough fans were very annoyed that he only played 7 minutes, saying, well, they always know the thing is like he came on the 82nd minute, that sub should have happened 82 minutes ago. All that's people say, but no, Middlesbrough are absolutely so bad the other night. It looks like Carrick's on his last legs there, and no, by I can probably say he'll be back into the next game because they look to shell themselves without him in midfield, and it's not a coincidence, Steve, that Middlesbrough suddenly started playing bad when Finazaz went in bad form. So hopefully it's just a bad form, small period, and he'll bounce back because when he was at his best there, he was one of the best players in the championship. So hopefully it's just a bad period and he'll be back in form. Hopefully in time for March that he can impress for Ireland.
I've just seen a picture of could we even get her? Yeah, he just looked like the Pringles bloke. That's funny.
One more, Rocco Vata. I know there's been a few comments wondering about that. He was injured, if you remember. He was injured for a couple of weeks. It was only a knock, and then he came back, and then he got sick as soon as he came back. Lost 5 kg in 5 days, which is not healthy for anyone. And I think he's still in the process of putting that weight back on. And I think it was just a thing today. They probably just didn't bother risking him because I think anyone knows really that when you're trying to put that weight back on and you're still underweight as such, it's a lot easier to pick up an injury and something like that. Or what, they were 2-0 up, and like, was there any point bringing on an extra attacker to score another goal when it wasn't worth the risk? So no, hopefully he's just hopefully I'd say by the next week or so he'll be back to 100% because it's been a week and a half or so now that he's been back playing. But these things take time, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, hopefully, we wish Rocco all the best. So you need some weight, Rocco. I've got some here for you, just down the road. Have him run around flying fit. Okay, we're going to move on to the attackers and then on to the comments. Evan Ferguson, 8 minutes in a fantastic 1-0 win over Arsenal. Troy Parrott, 78 minutes in a 1-0 win over Fortuna Sittard. Adamida, 45 minutes in a shock 2-1 loss to Hibernian. Tom Cannon plays Monday. Well, Sheffield United play Monday. Sammy Szmodic back on the bench, so he should be okay for Ireland, for Ipswich Town. Shame Ipswich are crap. Festi Abasela, well, his team, Istanbul, I'm not even going to try and pronounce the rest of that play on Thursday. Casey McAteer, not in the squad for Leicester. Oh dear. Mikey Johnson, 90 minutes of 2-0 win over Oxford. Chidozie Ogbeni, of course, still out injured. Callum Robinson, not in the squad for Cardiff. Could be an injury, though. We'll find out. Michael Obafemi, not in the squad for Plymouth. Could be anything, really. Aaron Connolly, not in the squad for Millwall either, unfortunately. Sinclair Armstrong, 69 minutes. UR in a 2-1 win over Middlesbrough for Bristol. And Tyler Goodrum, 90 minutes in a 2-0 loss against West Bromwich Albion for Oxford United. Just some absentees there. Aaron Connolly, was it injury?
I think he's injured. Actually, just on someone else that's not Aidan Womako made his first appearance since coming back, came on, played a huge part in the goal towards it. I think it finished 1-0 or 2-0. I can't remember the Millwall, but it was the key goal that took a man on, went past him, squared it, and the boy shot and he came back, and the boy, but it was brilliant by Aidan. To be fair, he's a brilliant young player. Hopefully he can kick on now because he picked up a few injuries at Millwall when it seems that he's starting to become one of the first teams in team sheet. He gets injured again and has to break his way back in. But no, it's been probably the quietest weekend, Dave, we've had for Irish footballers in ages. Like, we had Troy was excellent the other night against Galatasaray in the Europa League, one of the best performances I've seen with him in the first half. And then Ida had a disaster the other day, get taken off at half time, is never a good sign in a loss. Tom Cannon's injured. Michael Obafemi, God knows what he's up to these days with the Fairies. 1 week's in the squad, 1 week he's not. Evan Ferguson, I think, is the big talking point with only playing 8 minutes, but I don't know about you, but I'm not really too fussed about that, because I think it was just the opponent and the fact that he's only in the team. And when you play Arsenal, no matter who you are, really, when Liverpool go to the Emirates, it's really a lot of counter attack stuff because of the style of play that they play. I think Kudus and Bowen were the perfect option. And when you go 1-0 up, Dave, and it's working, the game plan was working perfectly for West Ham, but there was probably no real need to change it. And he should have got a goal at the end if Kudus could pass the ball sidewards. But unfortunately, it was one of the worst passes I've ever seen in my life, which caused Ferguson being 1-on-1 with the keeper, not being 1-on-1 with the keeper. So it is disappointing we didn't see him play more, but they play Leicester this week. And I'd put my house down on it that he'll play this week, or he'll start, because West Ham still need a number 9, and he was absolutely brilliant, I thought, when he came on last week against Brentford at halftime.
Well, of course, you're a little bit biased, aren't you? West Ham currently sitting in 16th in the league table, but I don't think they're going to go down. I think they're very lucky. So Man United, like, all joking aside, Man United 15th at the moment in the table on 30 points. West Ham just below them 30 points, but just have an inferior goal difference. Wolves 17th on 22 points, but they are also 5 points clear of Ipswich Town and Leicester City, and of course Southampton all the way down the bottom of 9th, and a lot of Irish interest in those 4-5 teams really in the bottom 5. So the Irish propping up the table in both leagues in England, so not great at all. Right, before we get into the comments, guys, just going to play that video again for you. Take a little break. If you are interested in getting involved with Lansdowne Roar, and of course we have a team of writers over there, which is growing exponentially. We have a website that would hopefully be growing exponentially to lansdowneroar.ie, where you can also get an audio version of this podcast. If you want to get involved with the writing team, have a listen to this very sexy man, and he'll tell you what you do. How's it going? David Dunn here from Lansdowne Roar, and I am calling out to anybody who wants to write about Irish football. That's right. If you want to write for Lansdowne Roar, at lansdowneroar.ie, and join our fantastic writers group over there, this is a great opportunity for you. It is a voluntary position, no experience required. However, all we ask is for you to be passionate and consistent, and also be able to string 2 cents together. Sorry, Martin, that leaves you out. It can be any level of Irish football that you want to talk about: men's, women's, seniors, juniors, League of Ireland, school league, anything at all that you want to express yourself about. This is for you. If you are an aspiring sports journalist, it's also a fantastic opportunity for you. We do have a wide reach. Of course, we have to stream every week, as you're probably watching this on now. So it's a great way to get yourself exposed in a positive way. If you want to get in contact, pod@lansdowneroar.ie. Also Conor at lansdowneroar.ie, David at lansdowneroar.ie, Martin at lansdowneroar.ie. Or you can head over to our Facebook, our Instagram, or our Twitter, and you can contact us directly. Not a problem, and we'll get you sorted there. Apply below now. Gorgeous. Fucking gorgeous. Mwah. Right. Before we get to the comments, also, guys, want to remind you, if you haven't already, ding, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that like button below. It really does help the algorithm. We are trying to grow the channel. We have loads of content coming at you. We've got the League of Ireland review on Tuesday, coming out on Tuesday. We're also working on some more content, another video as well, one of our little top 10s that we do, although not in any particular order, of breakout stars, that sort of stuff. It's all over there on the YouTube channel. So hit that subscribe button and get involved, because this is your podcast. And if you are new to Lansdowne Roar, of course, we do go over in a second, Conor. Just I'm speaking to my people. Also, we do things like we go over to Bulgaria, I hope, if you get a media pass. What?
No, it's not.
What are you doing?
No, I'm laughing at you. No, but just on the Bulgaria media pass, I wonder, I'd imagine the press box is very small and Plovdiv, so you mightn't get in.
I better get in. Listen, if I don't get in, I'll be doing a Martin and fucking taking your press pass. But yeah, hopefully we'll be over in we're going to Bulgaria anyway. We're actually traveling on the same plane, not in the same row though, because I'm in first class right now. A little bit of leg room, and you better but not be anywhere near me. You'll probably be behind me kicking a chair like the little baby that you are. But yes, that's the sort of stuff that we do here on the YouTube channel. We do streams and all that kind of stuff. So do get involved, hit that subscribe button, and yeah. Anyway, right. Let's get over to the comments now. I've sort of removed that foot from my mouth. Thank you to the 1,000 of you watching, by the way. 1,000 on a Sunday night. Fantastic stuff. Brilliant support, as always. Right, let's get to the comments. Right, first up, wow, loads of comments, actually. Donny Nagel, where are you? 4:25 a.m. your time.
I guess
Donny.
Twitter. I think it's just Twitter does that. I think when people comment on Twitter, it does that.
Must do. Well, he's gone right to the top, Donny. How you doing, Donny? I think it's your first time commenting. If not, I apologize. But if so, welcome. Troy Parrott is playing incredible. Has to be Ireland's #1 striker. Moving forward. Also says Donny Nagel, loving the show, guys. Do you both agree that Collins must be a 6 for Ireland moving forward? Load of centre backs. First point there. Do you think Troy Parrott should be? Thank you, by the way, Donny. We really do appreciate it. Do you think Donny has a point there? 2 points.
If we were playing tomorrow, I would. But no, Evan Ferguson's still our best striker. I will still go to the grave with that. Evan Ferguson it'll take by the time March comes around. Evan Ferguson will have scored a few goals in the Premiership. We'll be raving about him again, and he'll be back being #1 because Evan Ferguson is just one of the best talents about.
I'm a big fan of Troy Parrott, Donny. I really am. I think he's a lovely footballer. I do think he needs to bulk up a little bit, beef up. I've said that. You can bully him off the ball very easily just because of his size. But I do think he's a lovely footballer. He's still young. He's still, what, 22?
22. Oh, well, I think he turned 23 actually at the start of this year, but yeah.
Yeah, he's still a young lad and he's developing and he's in great form over in the Netherlands, so he's doing brilliantly and I'm a big fan of him. So yeah, hopefully we'll see how he progresses. Collins is a number 6. We've spoken about this before. He did that against England, and to be fair, I know he lost 5-0. That wasn't his fault. That was capitulation caused by a red card penalty and the conversion of said penalty.
He barely played as number 6, so didn't really play as a 6. He just went as his number 6 when we had goal kicks. He would run up the pitch and then he'd come back in the shape, but then he'd literally just play in a back 5, basically. No, I want him playing as a number 6 for Ireland, to be honest. I want him playing centre back. He has been one of the best centre backs in the Premier League this season. I think he's actually starting. Have you noticed, Dave, in recent weeks, he's starting to get the praise he's needed, or not needed, but deserved from people of the English media, people from, I know, the Twitter folk. Like, I've seen a lot of people, like, it seems to be after every game now, there's someone's making a Nathan Collins compilation, and like, he was brilliant. I know it was Leicester tonight, but like, his ball progression and his ability to carry the ball forward from as the right centre back in the back 3 or playing in the centre, he's brilliant. So no, not as a number 6, to be honest, but he's a brilliant centre back.
It's mad, isn't it? Like the way they play now, you have 2 different style of formation. I grew up in the during the time of Jack Charlton, hit it over the top, or over into the corner, and now they have like a formation with the ball and without the ball. So yeah, as you said, without the ball, back 5, with the ball in a 6.
But because we played England, we didn't really
have the
same as a 6. Yeah.
Fair. Also, Donny asks, have you any inside info on new faces of the upcoming squad, specifically granny rule players? I think we're looking at Kirkin or Sirkin. We hope more than anything than no, Conor. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think it's just hopeful. Like, we just don't know. They keep it very tight-lipped with the FAI, to be fair, with that sort of stuff. So him and maybe Louis Barry. But Louis Barry picked up seemed to be a very bad knee injury yesterday. He went off. He seemed to be very tearful. Seemed to think it was bad. But then I seen something today saying Hull feel it's not as bad as what it was because they've had a few ACL injuries this year and stuff. And the people who had it were in a lot worse state after it, and seemed he was actually not too bad. But I think it was just a waiting game. And imagine he still has to get a scan on his knee and stuff before we can say it.
Fair. Tony Herbert, hi lads, still exceedingly positive about our emerging young Irish talent, but felt slightly disheartened after this past weekend. Azaz and Bata have had a remarkable dip in game time recently. Also continues, Obafemi and Conley may as well retire and go camping. Still no debut for Cashin, which doesn't bode well for March, and I'm afraid I'll have a beard down to my ankles before I get to see Boston play. He's not wrong, is he? Although we've explained the Vata, and Nick says here, we did say it earlier on. Vata apparently has had a bad virus and lost a few kilos of weight. Hopefully, she'll be back over the next couple of weeks. That is true. We did confirm that earlier on. And also, Tony, sorry, it's a bit of a lot to unpack here, but he also comments that the boys in France seem to have gone off the boil a bit. He's not wrong, is he?
But the boys in France, I think it's just, well, IK is still a kid. He's still a 17-year-old. So
yeah,
that age, you're kind of going to be put the 21s 1 week, or I think they play 19s and then first team. But I think with John Patrick, I actually seen the other day a lot of fans saying that he actually was very good when he came on. A lot of their fans were giving out that he didn't start. He was actually, as we've seen, David's ball progression in terms of picking the ball up and driving was meant to be very good, even with 9 men at times. But no, I think it's just a rough weekend really for Irish football in that sense. Like a lot of lads just had a bad weekend. I think we've had a lot of good weekends and stuff in club football over the last year or so. David actually has been quite positive with Irish players. Like it's never really that negative. Like, but I think just this weekend is like no one just seemed to do it. And like with injuries and like Obafemi's in his own wee world with the fairies. Connolly was injured. Connolly's actually been excellent for Millwall. If you've watched any of him, Dave, since he came back. He seems to really be reinventing himself, but hopefully the injury's not serious because he does deserve some luck because it seems like he's earning his luck.
Fair. Next comment coming up, and it's from Positivity Alert. Do you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Oh, hold on. Let me switch it off. Fuck off. Positivity Alert. It is Mr. Rolling Stone. I don't understand the hype over Bosun. Vata, I can understand, but the other guy looked good in League One. Rolling Stone going in. He is absolutely thundering shots at you, Conor. Quickly, what do you say to that?
What's wrong with looking good in League One when you went alone there? You're at the worst team in League One and you're still the best midfielder in the league. I think it's a good sign when you're the best midfielder in the worst team in the league. Like so, no, but just give him time, Rolling Stone. She's just had a tough year with it, so don't give up on him yet. Just yet. You can doubt him, like, so then we can like say that.
Give up.
You can give
up. He hasn't even started him. I mean, Rolling Stone. He hasn't given up on anybody. You had to give him a chance to give up with him. Mark Corn, missed you, Rolling Stone. Mwah! We have indeed for a week. Mark, how are you doing, by the way? Hope you're well, pal. Tony Herbert again. On a positive note, I thought it was very comfortable cameo for Ferguson at Arsenal. Moore seemed to have had a decent game for Stoke. Well, he got an assist. He did well. Baylor.
Nice assist.
Oh. Well. What was that ranking in the last video?
Hold
on, he continues. Hold on. David, Duffer over Ditsy in that decade is a proper laugh.
Do you know, actually, he would have had some laugh. Do you remember when I said number one, David McGoldrick, and just went quiet for a second and Martin's face dropped and he
Martin.
he lost it. He was not happy. I knew he'd fall for it. I can't believe he fell for it.
His little face. His little face. You know when Martin, he's not on now, but his little face. Remember, I wish I recorded it, but we were getting ready to go. We were getting ready to go live, I think it was, when we were sitting there. And basically, I was like, all right, you ready? Yeah, no, in a second. And I hit the Lansdowne Roar intro music. He was like that, like reading his notes. And I hit the music. He's like, like a fucking deer in head. I was like that. Had a good laugh about it, to be fair. Yes, well, yeah. I mean, of course, the video Baylor is talking about is the top 10 Irish players between 2010 and 2020 between Martin, Conor, and myself. It's a laugh. It is a laugh, and there's no graphics, there's no production. It's just three lads, 2 a.m. It's probably our most sweary video that we've ever done. It's in the archives on the YouTube channel. It's a YouTube only video, so if you go through, it's doing all right in YouTube actually. Do check it out. See what you think about it, but it's a bit of fun. But yeah, it's probably our most sweary, unprepared video, and that is, pardon me, saying something. Right, let's get back to the comments. Jack Hennessy, good man, Jack. Boston was good for our under-21s. Tony Herbert again. I watched the Bristol game, and I get now Conor rates Armstrong so highly. He has massive potential and adds something different to any striker we have. He was furious when subbed after 70 minutes. Also says, hope Gavin Bazunu is okay. Stop applauding. Don't encourage him. Anyway, just wondering if you feel I'm overreacting. Cheers, lads. Tony in LA. P.S. I need to get up at 4 a.m. to watch these games. Good man, Tony. And you know what? I love that. That is the Roar Faithful, Tony, as we call you guys. And you are the Roar Faithful. That's why you're the Roar Faithful. You're up at 4 in the morning and you're watching these games in LA. We hope you were okay with the fires and everything going on over there a little while ago. But we have the Roar Faithful all over the world watching us, and it's absolutely brilliant. So thank you for that.
You're not gonna say I was right again about Sinclair Armstrong. Some people that weren't on the hype train are on.
Well, all due respect to Tony, and I love Tony, I'll make up my own opinion. You're just getting a bit too cocky.
Just watch.
Yeah.
Just watch them and you'll enjoy.
Well, I got the man here for you now. He's going to knock you off your pedestal. Rolling Stone. Moran does one or two spectacular things, but in most games, he's a ghost. In most games, he's a ghost. Andy Moran, your boy, Conor. Andy Moran, he's a ghost. What do you say to that?
Needs to get out of the championship. Would they like to bypass midfielders? Or he's stuck on the right wing where on the right wing he's never going to do anything. Like, he needs to just get out of that league. It just does my head in. Unless you're a good championship team, but if you're at Stoke or in a relegation battle, they're not going to want to have a technically gifted footballer playing as in midfield really that often. They want just someone who's a big.
He should just go to the Eredivisie, shouldn't he? Where he gets about 50 hours on the ball.
Yeah, I think he should go. I actually think he'd be there or go to like Belgium or somewhere.
Yep, go to the Netherlands, improve your technical ability, beef up, come back to England and play in the Premier League.
The thing is, technically, he is as good as anyone. It's just the fact is that he needs just to go. I just think he needs to just go to a league where he can actually express himself, and there's actually footballers there that he can play 1-2s with. Not footballers he gives the ball to one and hoof it in the rose head.
Fair. Aidan, this is one for you, Conor. Aidan Corbett, how you doing, Aidan? Do we have any insight into the 67 clubs who want to who've applied to be in the third tier of Irish football? Would any provide new counties to the League of Ireland? When is the final day for application, or is 67 the final number? Any information on that, Conor?
The application date's over. Yeah, it was last Friday. I think it was last Friday, I believe. Or it was like the last week or something. But yeah, that's done. I know for definite. There's definitely been a team from Tipperary have applied. Loads from Dublin. Where else? Meath. There's been a team. Trying to think that I know of. Like, I don't know. I'd if there was Monaghan, I think I'd know. Cavan, I wouldn't think so either. Trying to think other teams that would have, like, I don't know at this stage. I don't know, but I know there's been a lot in like the likes of Dublin have applied. I could imagine there's been a few more in other counties that already have League of Ireland teams, which is
there wasn't many from Connacht or Ulster, he said, which is a shame because I'd love a team from Belfast Celtic again.
Yeah, I think
something like that.
Because I couldn't imagine when you look at Connacht just geographically, like, will there be another team in Mayo and Mayo are joining? No. Would Galway maybe? There wouldn't be another one in Sligo. I would highly doubt there's one in Roscommon. So I'd probably say in the whole of Connacht, there's probably been maybe, if there was a team in Roscommon, if even, and maybe one team and one of the teams in Galway. But like in the, I just don't think, like in Ulster, I'd imagine there might be more, unless there's a team, unless like Letterkenny Rovers maybe or something like that have applied. But I just don't know, to be honest.
Kenny Rovers, it's a mad name. It's like the most Irish and English name kind of come together. Yeah. Not disrespect to Letterkenny Rovers, by the way, fair play. I remember asking my brother who lives in Westmeath, and I asked him, I said, like, you know, do you get your kids to play football? He goes, no. To play GA. And I said, why GA? Because it's the best crash in the world. You know, like there was no reach there. There's no team. You know, and it's ridiculous now. And it's a new build housing estate as well. That particular area. So, yeah.
I'd imagine actually Kildare will have a team applied for it. That's one I forgot about Kildare. Like, the amount of footballers that come out of Kildare is absolutely mental to not have a League of Ireland team. But yeah, Kildare will have applied.
That's mad, isn't it? I lived in Kildare for a couple of years and great part. Lived in Selbridge. And you had the five-a-side, McQuirk's Golf five-a-side. If anyone remembers that, down near Weston Airport. I'm sure I'm going to ring a few bells there. You had a five-a-side. And yeah, it was brilliant. I used to play on that. I remember actually one time coming home from London, middle of a snowstorm in 2009. You weren't born, Conor. And actually being picked up from Heathrow Airport and actually going out there and playing football.
Yeah, I'd love to see. It'd be nice to see if League Slip United joined because of the like Nathan Collins is from League Slip, Andrew Mubamedeli is from League Slip, Mark Travers is from League Slip. Some of the players that came through from that area is actually mental for that size of a place. So if they came, because I know they made a lot of money off when Andrew went from Norwich to Forest because he wasn't with any other Irish club. He's with them his whole boyhood career in Ireland. So hopefully a club like that will come in with the money they would have received. But I just think time will tell.
Fantastic. Oh, hold on. Rolling Stone. Collins is becoming revered at Brentford. Fans reckon he can go to the top.
Go on, Rolling Stone. Go on.
Fucking hell. Positivity from Rolling Stone. What next? And Nick says, yes, Rolling Stone, loving the positivity. Has Rolling Stone, have we had a face turn, as they say in wrestling? Is he a goodie now? Or is he going to continue to malign our fine boys in green? Shane Brown, how you doing, Shane? Good man over in America. Huge friend of the pod. And always appreciate him, a good man. Completely agree with Conor about English football is dead. Been a United fan since FA Cup Final 79, but couldn't be arsed with them last few years. Loving the League of Ireland revival and quality of talent. I'm hearing that from a lot of my United fans. Well, with all due respect, Shane, and I love you, you know I do, but as a Liverpool, not a mad Liverpool fan as I used to be back in the day, but I can remember all the shit I had to listen to from United fans in the 90s.
It's good to see now, Dave, just to jump in, that we're now starting to see League of Ireland fans giving that sort of, so you have you have, say, for example, you have Shells fans giving that abuse to Pats fans, or Rovers fans giving it to Bows fans, which I'd imagine the quantity of people doing that back when you were younger was a lot smaller than what it is now. So it's just good to see people have that same passion, because in fairness, there's a lot of people in Ireland that are very passionate about the English clubs, whether you like it or not. But it seems to be more and more people are starting to, instead of putting that love towards an English club, they're starting to put it towards one of our own.
I'm glad too. Look, when I was a kid and I started supporting Liverpool in 1988, around that time, 88. And half the Irish team played for Liverpool, and there's a bloody good Liverpool team, there's a bloody good Ireland team. There was no League of Ireland really. It was barely on the telly. Shamrock Rovers would have been they'd moved. They've only moved to Tallaght down there where I was from. Pats, I don't even think were playing in Richmond Park. They moved as well. Richmond Park was dormant for years. I remember going by in the 78A, or no, the 51. Really showing my age here now. In the 78A, going down. It's called a public bus, Conor. I know you don't have that where you're from. And then going down, and you'd look in and you see the Richmond Park behind the houses, and you see the goalposts kind of just like that. And it was just left, and the overgrown pitch. It was crazy. Emmett Road, I think, is it on Emmett Road? Anyway, and I never had any of that. So I think it's brilliant now that people growing up in Ireland now have a League of Ireland team. They can go, and it's wonderful. And it's one thing I liked about watching some of the highlights and some of the games of the League of Ireland is that a lot of the grounds have, they're quite full, and it's really wonderful to see. So it is brilliant.
Yeah.
Tony Herbert, Collins is still only 23, great on the ball, still learning, but I think he has everything to be a world-class centre back. Absolutely, Tony. I just think he has to cut out the silly mistakes. He needs to stop ball watching. That's a big one, and I've pointed out many times. He needs to stop ball watching, but he has all the ingredients. He's ball playing centre half. He's good at blocks. He can tackle, but he just needs to up the concentration levels. But absolutely, he's got plenty of time. Rolling Stone, O'Brien is playing very well at right back for Everton. Jesus Christ, 2 on a bounce. Rolling Stone, hallelujah. He was
excellent today. Yeah, I know United. I know United are crap, and Everton fell apart. But he wasn't falling apart, and he was actually a brilliant first half. I didn't think he'd be this good at right back, to be honest with you. I thought it was just going to be a stopgap that was just there to do a job, but he's doing more than a job at the moment. Defensively very good on the ball. He's been excellent in terms of ball playing through the lines, and even he whips in a lovely cross at the moment. Even times you see him overlapping, and you'd be like, you would never expect a right back to overlap. So I think he'll come into March and play there for Ireland, to be honest.
Well, David Moyes, say what you want about him. Absolutely dreadful Man United manager. But he has an eye for a player, and he's been in the game a long time. And, it goes to show you, if you see something in a player, it's that keen eye, isn't it? And I
have a question for Dave and for people in the comments. what is your back four for starting in March? Because I know someone asked the last tip, but things probably changed. Like, because you could have O'Shea back at right back with Collins and Scales, but Scales isn't playing anymore. But you could have, because the thing is, we could play O'Shea at right back, we could play Omobamidele even at right back, Doherty at right back, Coleman at right back, and O'Brien at right back. So there's a lot of options in the position. There's no one really that you can go, oh yeah, he's definite, but there is at least options to play there.
Tell us what your back four is there, guys. I'm going to try and answer it. I'd probably go. I'd go with O'Brien, right back, because he's doing a decent job. And I think we're going to need someone diligent like that. I know Doherty's playing in a back three, isn't he? Or in a back, like he's kind of right of a centre back three. But Heimer's going to go with a back four, similar to what Everton are doing. So yeah, I'd go. Look, I'd just go. It's pretty straightforward. Darryl O'Shea, Collins, even though O'Shea's in a appalling Ipswich side. We have Nathan Collins there, Jacob Bryan on the right, left back. Look, if against Bulgaria, I'd probably put maybe Jason Knight in there, maybe left back. Did he play right back or left back last time?
Right. Jason Knight, he hasn't played for right back in Ireland for a long time.
Still though, he did a job.
You just need somebody. I thought you were going to say Robbie Brady or Callum O'Dowda or something.
I was going to go. I was thinking. I don't know. I was thinking
O'Dowda was very good against England. In fairness, as much as you like to give out them, he was very good against England. Even Joel Began now at Cardiff doing well.
I don't want to say it. Come on, don't make me say it. I don't.
What about Robbie Brady?
Robbie Brady, maybe. I was thinking. I kind of had a bit of a brain fart. I was probably thinking, if you're to believe, or maybe Sirkin is going to be included, I put him straight into left back because we don't have a left back.
Yeah. And Ryan Manning is there, but he doesn't play football.
Doesn't play. He's just there. If you're looking for somebody who's going to play, you just look like, I think against Bulgaria, if to believe what you're saying about Bulgaria, they're not a great team. You just need energy. You just need energy and diligency. If that's even a word. And I'd probably go with either maybe Robbie Brady or
I think particularly at home, Dave, just Robbie Brady's more because of the fact he can play. He can whip a better cross, and even though his crossing at times can be overrated, he likes to hit the first man a lot. But in terms of that one moment of brilliance, he can come out with that. Like in terms of his technical ability.
I've had a bit of a brain fart there. Admittedly, I'd probably go Robbie Brady. Robbie Brady. I wouldn't go Callum O'Dowda, to be fair. I'd go Robbie Brady because he gives you a little bit of something, doesn't he, on that left side? But I don't think Jason Knight would be a bad shout as left back. If he could do it as a right back, why not as a left back? He's energy. He's an out ball, isn't he? He makes runs down the left. He overlaps because he's just energy, pure energy. Jason Knight is. If you wanted that coming down the left, but yeah, probably Sirkin if we get him, but we don't know. We genuinely don't know. Mm-hmm. What do you think, folks? I'm not going Callum O'Dowda. Martin Fitzpatrick. Ferguson came on after 82 minutes, same as Brighton. Sure, he may as well have just stayed. Yeah.
No, don't be so delusional, Dave.
Not delusional. I'm just fucking saying it. Like,
so when he starts against Leicester this week, you're gonna be like, oh no, it's a great thing to do.
If he doesn't start against Leicester, what then?
I'll give you €50.
All right.
I'll put a €50
you heard
bet
it here first.
I'll put a €50 bet.
No, you give me €50.
No, you have to do something like that. It has to be a €50 bet. He'll start 100%. He's going to start against Leicester.
And you fuck up, no, bet you €50. I am not a gambling man. I used to take.
It's not a gamble. It's not a gamble when it's guaranteed winnings.
€5 bet.
€5 bet. Then go on.
€5. Okay, €5 bet that he does not start against Leicester.
Okay.
All right. Rolling Stone. I would imagine Potter will play him a lot more once West Ham are free from relegation. That's another point, and I do genuinely, all joking aside, agree with him. That's why I was looking at the table there. I mean, they're not going. Although they're not going to get relegated. They're not going to get.
They're not in a relegation battle. And Dave, I'd asked you this: why did he come on against us at halftime against Brentford? He didn't just come on for the crack of it, and he didn't come on just to play, to give him minutes. He came on because they know he's that good and they want to embed him in the system. But when you go away to Arsenal, sometimes things are different, and especially with a lad that's been quite injury prone. Why would you want him playing on the halfway line against Arsenal when it's just constantly just trying to run in behind and stuff. When the likes of Bowen and Kudus are more suited to that, I think people are just over exaggerating. And them lads done well. If they were playing poorly, Ferguson would have been on a half time or 60 minutes, but they were doing well.
Fair. Tony Herbert, Rolling Stone, he is indeed about Jacob Ryan and some goal by Jimmy Dunn at the weekend.
Lovely.
Adam Curtis, how you doing, Adam? Parrott playing against Spurs in the Europa League. With his form, will he punish Spurs? I hope so. It'd be hilarious if he did. And the form he's in, especially in Europe, absolutely. Spurs are shite as well. Dean Flood, to be fair on Ferguson, he wasn't going to be brought on while West Ham. Here we go. While West Ham were protecting and won their lead at Arsenal. Yeah, no, fair. Rolling Stone, I think it's looking very likely that Brighton will sell Moran. There you go. No,
probably will, but no. But he signed a new contract last summer because Hurtsler seemed to love him in pre-season. But I think long term he's probably better off going somewhere that he'd be a main man. But maybe
go abroad.
I just don't know. The thing is, with Brighton, they have same owner as Union Saint Gilles or whatever you pronounce them in Belgium that they own, and they've had lads go there and known before. And I think if he went there for a year next season, it could be the good stepping stone back to Brighton first team, but you just never know.
Fair. Downtown 123. James the Banquet is flying with Watford. Lads, would you pick him in the next senior squad? I think. Well,
yeah, I would.
I mean, who would come in?
Who'd come out?
I mean, he's playing. Sorry, who would come out? Yeah, I mean, he's playing as a centre back for Watford. What's his natural position?
Right centre back. Like, I think he's best in a back three on the right, but he's playing the left centre back before.
Yeah, I'd have him in there. I mean, obviously, you know, Bamadeli's probably not going to be. Bamadeli, sorry, he's probably not going to be in the squad, which is a shame, genuine shame. If he doesn't get in downtown 123, it's because there's not enough people have made, you know, have come out. Basically, I think, and it's not that he's terrible. It's just, I think with Heimer is going to pick a settled squad all the time. He's not going to experiment too much. Notwithstanding a massive injury crisis against Bulgaria, is he? He's a pragmatist.
Yeah,
Conor.
Yeah, it is. Sorry. Mr. Bill, Irish Football Blog, was sending me a few names of teams that he knows has entered the 67. But I'll talk about it. No, but what were you saying about James Banquet? Sorry, and then I'll go on to that after.
Oh, fuck's sake. James Banquet, I'm just saying, like, you know, if he doesn't get in the squad, it's not because he's terrible. It's just that Heimer likes he wants a settled defence because it's a playoff game. It's important. All games are important, but especially this one. And if he has his regular, you know, central defenders, he's going to go with them, isn't he? Although Bamadeli is obviously out.
I have one fear, though. I fear he's going to pick Shane Duffy. Because even though we have so many defenders, do you remember the last camp he picked Shane Duffy and he's like, and then he just came out injured then after that. But he was saying that he wanted some bigger bodies at the back because we needed that and then leadership. But Jesus Christ, he made a bad mistake for the goal. Andy Moore got a lovely assist for it. It all came from a terrible pass from Shane Duffy. But no, I'd like to think with Omar Bamadeli coming back and O'Brien coming back in. Well, you hope Omar Bamadeli's fit, and you'd hope that James Bank was overtaking him, but it still is. Like the oldest centre back then would be Darragh O'Shea, who's 25. I don't know if he's 26 yet, but I think he'd be the oldest centre back in the squad, which is quite young, like as such. But I think Collins is our captain as such when Coleman's not there. But do you want me to go into a few of these teams that he said?
Absolutely. So we were asked the question earlier on, do we know the name of some of the clubs that have applied to be part, 67 clubs that applied to be a part of the League of Ireland third division or third tier? It's not going to be called Division 3, is it? Go for it, Conor.
They're calling it the National League. Like the National League in England, they've National League North, National League South. I'd imagine that's how they'd get it into promotion. The top two from each would probably go into one would get promoted and then the other would go to a playoff between the two. But some of the teams, he sent me on 7 teams. Montpellier, well, I don't know if that's the same spelling as the French one, in Dublin. Surprise. Peak Villa, which is the team from Tipperary I was on about, I just couldn't remember the name. Rock Celtic from Dundalk. Home Farm, obviously the big schoolboy team.
Mm-hmm.
He said possibly DCU, which would be interesting. St. Francis's in Dublin and St. Patrick's CYFC in Dublin. I'd imagine the likes of St. Kevin's would be going in it as well. you'd like to think with a club like that, with the talent they have, and even though a lot of them are would be playing with League of Ireland academies, but they still have that track record. But that's just 7 teams that he knows has expressed interest in it. But it's interesting because I don't know, I'd imagine Dublin would be considered with the way geographically it'll go now. Like a lot of the teams in Dublin will be considered in the northern section because of the way we're struggling for teams from the north region of Ireland. Like, so I know maybe a couple of teams in North Dublin will go into the north and a couple might go into the south section, but I could imagine it all end up being the north. But you don't want a full North League that has 7 teams from Dublin and 3 teams from elsewhere around the north.
So do you reckon they could have, is there any possibility that they could do a third and maybe fourth and fifth tier, as if in obviously Premier Division, First Division, which they need to change. I think they need to sex up the names of those, by the way. Premier Division sounds a bit 90s. You know, I'm all about, and I think we've seen a little bit the league struggle with some of its, we'll talk about it on the League of Ireland review. We're not ignoring the League of Ireland on this, by the way, but we do the League of Ireland review. That'll be it on Tuesday, by the way. But you know the way in England, they've obviously got Premier League, Championship, League 1 and 2. Then you have the Conference, and then you have like National League, and then you have National League North and National League South. And basically teams in those, because, you know, the UK is a big old place. And you have teams that, because you think, well, if you're in that division, you're not going to have the budget to go all over the country. So we keep you in your little kind of section of the country. So, you know, to sort of allay any fears over travel costs. Do you think you could do something like that in Ireland? You'd have Premier Division, First Division, National League, and then because there's such an overspill of teams, maybe look at budget, and depends where they're from, they could have like National League North, National League South, or East, West, anything like that.
You'd like to think that could be a case, but I don't know whether they'd want it, because it's still a big investment now for them to go in and have the 20 teams in the north and south. So I don't know whether they'll want to go in and go, oh no, we'll put an extra tier in whilst we're at it, because it still is a lot of work in that terms. And I think a lot of these clubs probably aren't built to go to a full All Ireland league as such for a third
But this
tier.
is where you go to the government, isn't it? The FPI don't have the money, but this is where you go to the government and say, I'd imagine at that level again, it's quite rudimentary, Conor, isn't it? Like you could use, some of these clubs could use a school, you know, just a school pitch.
Yeah.
Just, you know, like it's that rudimentary. You know, if you're good enough and you have a certain criteria, you could be in the National League, and then maybe have North, and then in the North and South, that's the whole thing of we're using, you know, we're really, really at the bottom, but we want to build ourselves up as a club, and then just build that and get a grant from the government. It'd be fantastic to see, but who knows? Your thoughts on that, please, folks.
And if you know, actually, if anyone knows, because I can imagine there's a few people in the comments will know a few clubs that have applied from their local area, because we know we're in Ireland, and when a local club applies for something, everyone in the local area will know about it. So if you know it, and just put it in the comments, because it'd be good to know.
Absolutely. Great to hear, in fact. Back to the comments. Nick, yeah, it was the wrong sort of game for Ferguson to come in. He will 100% start against Leicester on Thursday. No, Nick, I want me fiver. Even I tell you what, even if he's not on the bench, I'll take on the bench, and then someone gets injured and he's on after 5 minutes. You still don't get your fiver. Rolling Stone, Keith Tracy reckons we need to forget our midfield, concentrate on what we're good at, which is defending and being hard to beat.
You can't just forget about your midfield, though. You can't just forget it exists. You still need to have your
got us to 3 tournaments.
You still need to have a strong midfield.
Jack got us to 3 tournaments on that.
Kieran Leo,
he had Roy Keane.
Yeah. So he still had one of the top midfielders. Yeah, he still had one of the top midfielders.
Yeah. Mate, yeah. Are you joking me? In 1986, Jack had Ronnie Whelan. He had Liam Brady. He had Tony Galvin. He had Kevin Sheedy. League serial winners.
So then you didn't forget about the midfield.
No, he did.
Maybe the play style just didn't suit midfielders, but when the midfielders had to be there and come up in the big moments and affect the game, they did.
No, what he did was what he did in the early days, he got Ronnie Whelan and Ray Houghton to play as left back and right backs, and they would hit balls diagonally over the top and bypass the midfield, and then basically he would get the midfield to rush, to basically press and play the football in and around their box, which was clever. So you played football, but you played it in their box. You didn't pass out from the back, but he had the players to do that. He could have played Paul McGrath as a centre back, Mark Lawrence as a centre back, David Leary as a centre back, but instead he played Mark Lawrence at times as a midfielder and Paul McGrath as a midfielder. He was the best defender in England at the time. Mad, but it worked, I suppose. Anyway, that's a whole. But no, trust me, never mind Roy Keane. Trust me, he had players there before Roy Keane in midfield. Ronnie Whelan for the start. But anyway, Kieran Leog, what day do you expect the senior squad to be announced? Now, I know this is when we do know Conor, don't we?
Well, we don't know for definite, but I think it's Thursday the 13th or something like that. Like it's always the Thursday before. And that's the way I always work it off. So it's usually the Thursday before for when it's a competitive game anyway. So, yeah, should be then.
Thursday. So what day are we looking at?
13th, I think, is it?
Or 13th. Like squad? It's a bit early, not it?
13th of March. It's the weekend before. It's always the weekend before the games. The Thursday, before the last weekend.
So there you go. We reckon the 13th. Adam Curtis, we will have a squad reaction, of course. Adam Curtis, Ferguson should be able to pick up a goal or two if he starts against Leicester. He's not going to start against Leicester, Adam. Stop that now. I want me fiver. And I will be picking that fiver up from you, pal, when I pick you up from the airport. Dean Flood, I don't know what I'll do if they bring back Kildare FC because I'm from there, but I'm already a Rovers fan through my dad. Well, I mean, come on, Dean.
Support both.
Both, yeah.
If they're playing in the third tier, you can find time to go to both if they're playing on a Saturday or Sunday.
Exactly. Aidan Corbett, I mean, if there's 67 applicants, there's potential to actually have a fourth tier or expand the top three tiers to, say, 18 teams per division, depending on facilities of interested clubs. Good man, Aidan. That's exactly what we were talking about there as well. Some good points there. Different ways to do it. Absolutely. Dean Flood, it would be weird if you're not allowed to be a pro contract in the third tier, considering that you can be promoted to the second tier, which does allow pro contracts. What about relegated sides with... And let's cut you off. See, can I find your comment? No, can't find.
I think it just means, I think it's just, what about relegated sides? Would they have to go amateur? I think that is a valid point because it must have been explained that well by the FAI, that you can just go. The thing is, there's not. Why couldn't you be a pro team or a close to pro team and or have a pro contract as such?
Yeah, and he did actually say in the article that they're still working it all out. I mean, look, to be fair to the FAI, you're probably expecting maybe 20 teams and all of a sudden 67 go. So you're looking at different options. Not all bad. Do we go a National League, North, South, East, West? Do we put more in? Why not? But it could be, you could be looking at clubs literally using a field, like Sunday football, just to start off with, or school grounds or something. Downtown 123. A bit disappointed that Louis Barry went off with what looks like a nasty injury. We did talk about that earlier on. He was in tears, bless him. We wish him absolutely nothing but the best, Louis. Rolling Stone. John Joe Patrick Finn has said he will play for Ireland. Okay. Yeah, I mean he's Irish. He is Irish. Aidan Corbett. Every time Aidan comments, it's always a very pertinent point. Have you noticed that? Not running down the rest of the Roar faithful. B teams exist in Portugal, Spain, Germany, etc. Those countries have a steady flow of players. As long as it can only ever be in the tier lower than the senior team, it's great for player development. Yeah, we discussed that earlier on. And to be fair, that comment was made about an hour ago. And you're absolutely right, Aidan. We did talk about that, and we agreed. I'd like to see more teams spread around Ireland, but we have to cut a cloth accordingly, and we have to go with what we've got, and always look to expand and have as many teams in the pyramid as possible that we can possibly have. So, but yeah, and as Conor rightly said, players like Sinclair Armstrong, Kevin Zeffie, and the like played for the Shamrock Rovers B side, and he did really well. I can see now that's gonna piss off a mate of mine. I'm gonna get giving too much praise to Rovers here. I'm gonna get a nasty WhatsApp.
if every team had a B team, I'd be happy with that. But realistically, not all teams would want to have a B team.
Oh, a return to form for Rolling Stone. 3 managers now don't trust Ferguson. We have to start asking why. Who's the 3?
I think he's on about De Zerbi, Hurstler, and now Potter.
Yeah.
Potter signed them 2 weeks ago. She's played 45 minutes and then against Arsenal.
Yeah. And Mark Curran asks which 3 managers don't trust Ferguson. Oh, God. Fitz O'Connor, pitches seem to improve in the league. 2 matches on Virgin. Talking very important, going not great. Apart from that, exciting to see interest in the league. I agree there, Finton. We're going to talk about it. Please do tune in to the League of Ireland review, which will be released on Tuesday. But one of the things I am going to say, Conor, on it, I do think, and I love the fact that the League of Ireland is getting interest. It's brilliant. We need interest in the League of Ireland. We need a fully functioning League of Ireland. It's brilliant. Stop giving all the money to the Premier League. They have enough of it. We need to start developing the game in Ireland. However, and I say this from the right place, I think the League of Ireland in different areas has exposed itself a little bit, and not in a good way. And I'm talking technology, I'm talking pitches, and even especially today, game call off today as well in Dublin. We're going to talk about that on Tuesday.
But the only thing I'd say there, Tal is actually very, very good service. It's just terribly planned. Whoever planned it out to have 3 games in a space of 4 days on that pitch, like it's not good for any pitch to even have it like that.
No, but it's still part. It's still part of it, though, isn't it?
Problem. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, all of it, like the app as well, the League of Ireland TV app. We're going to talk about it all on the next episode. Do tune into that. Episodes 1 and 2 are available in the archives on the YouTube and lansdowne.ie. But thank you, Finn. Brilliant comment. Tony Herbert, down 10-1-2-3. I think Abanqua must be in the March squad.
God, back in it.
I'm tired. On current form, he's the best Irish player at the moment. Abanqua. Fuck. Rolling Stone, Zerbi, Hushla, and Potter. The first 2 question is hold up play on Ferguson. And Adam Curtis responds, Zerbi used him and he got injured playing under him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Shane Brown, lads, there must be something being done right with the youth coaching in Ireland. Our underage teams are always super competitive, even against the top dogs from the under 15s or 21s. Conor, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm going to agree with Shane on that. But we've always had really good youth setups, haven't we? Like, we've had teams that have won European Championships, the under 16s, the under 18s under Brian Kerr. We've always had teams that have done well, always competed. You know, we did very well in that Lansdowne, the tournament that we went into with Toulon, sorry. Yeah, name escaped me. Toulon there with Stephen Kenny in 2019. We did really well there. Like, we've always done well at underage, haven't we?
Yeah, we always haven't. Even more as of recent years. I know there was that spell with Brian Kerr, but there was still a big gap before there was Ireland underage teams starting to properly compete again. But yeah, it's just a good period of underage football, and the coaching is a lot better now at underage level, and players are starting to get the right judgment. The right players are getting picked, and it's the development is a lot better. But I think it's just the gap between senior football and underage football is massive, and it's about making the right career decision from there and being at the right clubs, because as you start to get to like past under 17s age, I would always say that's when the teams that are getting the best coaching in Europe start to like kick on more. That's why sometimes after you see Irish players at under 17 level, under 18 level, or under 16 level, or you'd have some players that are some of the best talents in their age at Europe, but then when it gets past that stage, because of not getting the contact hours that they get in the big countries in Europe, lads start to overtake them.
Yeah, I mean, as well, I mean, it's a big gap, isn't it? It's a big step up from amateur football, like underage football, to professional football, because it's a little bit more cynical. It's a little bit more conniving. You know, you have to think a little bit. So not everyone's playing by the rules at professional, at like the tippy top level as well. So that's why we kind of struggle when we do really well underage, but then when we get to competitive to the senior team, you know, not everyone makes it. It's a whole different setup there. But yeah, great question there, Shane. Nick Potter loves Ferguson. He'll start the next game. No. Give me Jacob Ryan starting right back in Marcia Steve Flood. I'm only saying that because I have a bet on McConnor that he won't, and I want me €5. Adam Curtis Hurstler couldn't guarantee game time, and Potter brought him to West Ham because he sees potential in him at Rolling Stone. And Rolling Stone, he's getting pelters now. Do you think if he loved him, he would have given him more game time? And Mark Curran goes, the same as Zerbi, that played him over 25 times in the league last season, and Potter, who brought him into West Ham after obviously trusting him. Give it up, Rolling Stone. When a manager can't guarantee game time, he doesn't see Ferguson is good enough for his team. Jesus. Lads, you need to change that graphic. Collins is 23, not 26. That's a big difference.
Do you have ages on it?
Yeah.
See, I didn't even notice that, to be honest. But
Jesus Christ.
Did you think he was 26?
No. No. If I have 26, no, I never thought he was 26. So I have 26 and that's complete. It's just a typo. But well spotted, Tony. I'll have a look back on that and I will change that. No, I know he's not 26. Mark Fitzpatrick, and you didn't even know, you bastard, that there was any fucking ages on it.
Yeah, I'd be in my
fucking
own
Hawkeye over there. Hawkeye McAvoy, Jesus Christ. So I'm up against, folks. Mark Fitzpatrick, St. Mirren beat Rangers. Who the Irishman playing for them?
Killian Phillips got man of the match. I think that's what he's probably referring to.
And they've actually sacked him. They've sacked the Rangers manager.
Belgian I seen the Clement, whatever you call him.
Yeah, oh dear.
They got new owners. I think that's probably why. And that one they lost to St. Mirren obviously doesn't help.
Yeah, and Celtic going to win the league again. I mean, even though they lost to Hibs at Easter Road, doesn't make a difference, does it? Dean Flood, I think Andy had a decent run 1 year in the championship. That's about it. Andy Moran?
No, he's on about Omar Bamadeli when you're referring to his injury situation.
Oh. Thank you, Dean. But yeah, spot on. Adam Curtis, Hurtsler never gave Ferguson a chance in the squad when he was coming back from injury at Rolling Stone. There's more stuff going on between Rolling Stone and the rest of the guys there. Tony Herbert, not a huge fan, but must be said, Matt Doherty is having a fine season for Wolves. He is, isn't he? He's actually doing all right, playing on the right side of a back three of a what we were.
And he actually said in that interview he done with Nathan Murphy last week that the way he's been playing is actually more like how he'd play with Ireland. He said it's kind of like when he played for Ireland against Finland, it was like he played as a low right back, he was saying. And he said that's actually quite similar to the role he plays with Wolves at the moment. Obviously, it's in a 3, but he said it's quite similar, which is actually interesting to know that maybe if Hallgrimsson is looking at the most identical playing exact way he wants a right back playing, it could be Doherty's role. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, look, as much as Doherty was maligned, and rightfully so for his attitude and application, let's be honest, the system didn't help him, did it? Like, it left him and Coleman, Coleman playing in that position at the right side of a back three.
Probably should have been the other way. It probably should have been the other way around. When you look back, it probably should have been Doherty as centre half and Coleman as the wing back. When you think of it, really, it shouldn't have been the other way around.
Yeah, it was like when Brian Kerr used to play Stephen Carr as a right back and Steve Finnan as a right midfielder, and Stephen Carr would always overlap Steve Finnan. I'm thinking, just put Steve Finnan as the right back and Stephen Carr as the right winger, because he kept leaving gaps. I remember, I couldn't get over that. Like, Stephen Carr was a pacey right back. Anyway, but yeah, no, he is doing well, Tony. Sorry.
Nothing. No.
Dean Flood, John Patrick did decent in that game, and Rams had 2 cars. That's right, yeah. Ram, they're in serious trouble, Dean. Where did you see he doesn't rate his hold of play marker on that side? Rolling Stone. Christ. Still more here. They're all having a go, throwing pelters at Rolling Stone. We're going to try and move on the conversation. Gavin Clark, shame about Ipswich, load of bigs. Boys and Green getting relegated. Pity for Smods and Oggs. Was hoping to see the best.
Not laughing at Gavin, by the way. I'm laughing at the next comment.
Yeah. Cascarino said Ferguson isn't a centre forward. He has to. That's the number 10. I was looking at that as well. I wasn't gonna sort of give this any more. Oh, Jesus.
It's funny. It's not a centre forward according to fucking Cascarino when Ferguson is the joint record holder for the most goals in a calendar year in the Premier League by a teenager. That screams number 10 to me, and not number centre forward.
Yeah, he's a centre forward. He is a centre forward. When that boy is in full flight, he's like an Alan Shearer. He's just power, and it's going in. The ball's going in outside the box, inside the box. It's going in. He's a natural goal scorer. He's just has a poor run of injuries, and he's young. How old is he now? 19, 20?
Yeah, 19. No, 20. Yeah. 20.
Fintan O'Connor, really good to see Doherty playing well again. Can he fit into a back 4 for us? All this good work in a back 3 for Wolves. don't know about a back four, we were just talking about that earlier on. I think Heimer's going to go with a back four. It doesn't suit us playing anything but a back four. It just doesn't. And that's what I was saying earlier on with Doherty. He was a bit unlucky. Sorry, it's not a comment. More pelters at Rolling Stone. There, I'm going to avoid those. But yeah, the system didn't help Matt Doherty, but his application wasn't great. Yeah, you're reading that as well. Gavin Clark, shame about Ipswich. Hoping to see Oggs this year. It's all Ed Sheeran's fault. It was a continuation of a previous comment. People slate Welbeck, and while he can't finish, says Rolling Stone, his ability on the ball and lick-up play is miles ahead of Ferguson. We had to go back into this. Mark Curran, but Wenger and Ferguson got rid of Welbeck, so he must be terrible going off your logic, gimp. Fucking hell. Now, come on, play nice now, Mark. Dean Flood, is Darragh O'Shea going to stay where he is this year, or is he going to fight relegation at a different club next season? Yeah,
probably the latter.
Yeah, he's played at loads of clubs, hasn't he? Was he at West Brom?
Yeah, he was captain of West Brom. It was very good then.
Burnley.
And I went to Burnley last season, and then I went back to went to the mighty Ipswich this season. He actually has, in fairness, Darragh O'Shea's actually had a really good season. He's been one of their players that's actually stood out and looked like he could play in the Premier League in the long term. But no, they're just a bit mid. Like they're just not great. Like
maybe Leeds.
Go to Leeds. Go to Leeds. You could go West Brom if the West Brom get playoffs and go up. Maybe West Brom.
Maybe back to West Brom. Rolling Stone. I've never said Ferguson is terrible, but this link-up play needs a lot of work. Nick actually thought John Patrick improved Rams when he came on at halftime. Is what you were saying as well, Conor. They're a bit of a shit team, though. I love getting red cards. They do. And he got a red card on his debut, only for it to be rescinded.
Not his home debut.
Sorry, his home debut, yeah. Yeah. John O'Sullivan, did you watch First City, Dave? And do you like it? No, I didn't. I didn't see what's happening, John, in Fair City this week. Rolling Stone liked the video, says Rev Tracker. What's going on there? Is that what you were doing when you're supposed to be listening to me? Alfie Conneely. Hi, Conor and David. I hope all is well with you both. All good, Alfie. As a Go United fan, I'm very happy with the win against St. Pat's. Boo. On Friday, a great atmosphere, sold out, and a win against a title favourite. Good man, Alfie. I can't be quite happy with your team's win, of course, against my League of Ireland team, St. Pat's. I'm going to talk about that on Tuesday, so do tune in for that. But yeah, great win for Galway. I was trying to watch the game on the bloody League of Ireland app, and I think the problem was because it was the game on Virgin, it was trying to kick me out of it, even though I was watching it outside the Republic of Ireland. Because if you're inside the Republic of Ireland and you're trying to watch a game on Virgin on the app, it won't let you. But if you're outside the Republic of Ireland, it's supposed to let you, and it wouldn't let me. So I think that was the problem. But a great win for you guys. Yeah, bad start. One point out of their opening 2 games. Not good. John O'Sullivan, Neil Farouj, yeah. Dave Farouj, yeah. John Hennessy, hi, Conor and David, come on, Ireland. How you doing, Josh? Hope you are well. I'll give you a few. I'll give you a few DMs, Conor, says Bill. What's all that about, you saucy bollocks? What's he DMing you about there, Conor, eh?
Just them teams. Just them teams.
Just them teams, is it? Yeah, okay. Yeah, saucy. Tony Harwood, I played for Nace Kildare Schoolboys. Good man, Tony, in South Dublin League 30 years ago. There should be a team from Kildare. There absolutely should. The talent from Kildare is unreal. The sports facilities, from what I've seen around Kildare, is unreal as well. Really should be more. Dean Flood, yes, Tony, best county in Ireland needs a team. Good man, Dean. I do have a lot of time for Kildare, having lived there. I've spent a lot of time in Kildare. Remember working in League Slip, Paddy Powers, for the 2005 Grand National. Paddy Powers there, yeah. Remember that, League Slip. Lovely town. And of course, Selbridge as well. Aidan Corbett, given the parochial nature, I think if a club enters from a county currently without a team, town names may make others feel excluded. Nothing wrong with it. Clare FC, Kildare United, Tipperary SC, etc. What do you make of that, Conor?
I agree. Spot on.
There you go. Aiden, he's just coming out with these logical comments. I love it. Josh Hennessy. Hi, Conor David. You watch Ireland women's games? Ireland won, Turkey 0. Are you asking if we watch or we want them?
Do we watch them? But
I didn't get a chance to watch them. You did, Conor, though, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I was working on Friday night because of what the job I do now. So no, Friday night's League of Ireland night. So unfortunately, I can't. When something's on Friday night, it's League of Ireland just for me. So no, I didn't see. I just seen the goal after, but I didn't unfortunately see the game. But they play what tomorrow? Is it?
Yeah, Slovenia, isn't it? They're in Slovenia or Slovakia.
Yeah, one or two.
They're over there at the moment. Yeah, so they've got off really well. First point 1-0 in Tallaght. Unfortunately, may have caused the game to be called off today. But I mean, sure, that's not their fault, is it? As you said, it should have been played down the court. We'll talk more about that on Sunday. So I'm just looking at some of the comments coming in there. Kind of obviously make me smile. But no, look, fair play to the women's team. Winning 1-0 against Turkey. Nations League. They got relegated, obviously, from the last group, and they're back in it again. And they're probably going to go back up again, aren't they? Downtown, 1, 2, 3. O'Shea, right back. Doherty, left back. Jake and Collins in the middle. That's an interesting one. Sort of kind of what we said, but, well, it's Bart Doherty and, yeah. Aidan Highland. I'd go O'Brien, Collins, O'Shea, and Kirkin, or Sirkin, hopefully. We'll find out how he pronounces that fucking name. Darren O'Hartnett. How you doing, Darren? Bogus fan. This sounds a bit mad, but I'd have O'Shea left back, Collins and Doherty centre backs, and O'Brien right back. Big fan of McGuinness off Luton also. All right. Zed Leplin. O'Brien for right back. Shane Brown. O'Brien, O'Shea, Collins, O'Dowda, my back for. Why O'Dowda? Martin's not on. Tony Howard for Bulgaria, not ideal. My back for O'Brien, Collins, Abankwa, and Brady. Zed Leplin. We are in a bad need of a left back, is what he meant to say, not a right back. Adam Curtis says O'Shea over Brady. Nick, he's certainly to start against Leicester's. No, Nick, he's not, right? I want me $5. That's free money. Yes, for me, Nick. It's a free $5. Ed M. Dunn, Collins, O'Shea, Brady. I presume Brady is left back and Dunn is right back. Gavin Clark, I like this one. Breen, and right back, Breen. There you go. Do you remember the old song, Conor? Do you?
We're dreaming him with Gary Breen. Yeah, I'm not that old.
You are, but yes. How old were you when you last played for Ireland? You were like unborn.
What year was he? What year did he make his last cap?
Was it 03, was it?
I don't know, would have been a year old.
Jesus. John, I heard Jacob Murphy has been approached by Nigeria through his father, which I think he's turned down. Still available to Ireland through his mother.
I swear he said himself that he can't play for Ireland. I swear Kenny said that as well. I believe he can't. I think it's not true that he can play for Ireland.
Well, I don't know. John said it's true. Are you calling John a liar? Are you calling John a liar?
No.
Better not be. Adam Curtis, Doherty, O'Brien, Collins, O'Shea is all the right back the back fours. John, Alex Murphy playing regular for Bolton on loan from Newcastle. Could be in the full squad in the next few windows. Plays left back. Thank you, John. There you go. It's an excellent name there. Love it from the Raw Faithful. Gavin Clark, if John Egan was back to his best, he should be in the squad. I don't think he will be, though. He's sort of... You can't play 90 minutes. Yeah, you can't play 90 minutes back to back. And he was the 2019 captain in a 3-1 win against Bulgaria, says Gavin Clark. Sadly, though,
he was brilliant.
He was excellent. And John O'Sullivan with the last comment of tonight's episode. Did you watch the RT News at 9, Dave? No, I didn't, John. And to be honest, John, I find the news frightening at the moment. Absolutely frightening. I feel like I'm in a James Bond movie and it's all gone fucking wrong, hasn't it? It's all gone tits up over the last few weeks because some tosser got elected somewhere. Anyway, we're going to leave it there, guys. Thank you very much. Conor, thank you. Thank you guys for watching. No, No, thank you, Conor. But thank you all for tuning in. Just under 1,500 of you guys as well. Brilliant support as always. There will be an audio version of this program coming up in the next few minutes. Just have to kind of download and re-upload it there over on lansdowneroar.e. Don't forget, if you want to get involved in the writing team, you can contact us through our Twitter, our Facebook, an email. Don't make me play the video again. Just get in contact with us, and then I'll send you on to Conor, and Conor will set you up. We've had loads of people come in from America, Germany, all over Ireland. It's fantastic. We want more writers. We want you to get involved. We are the voice of the fans, and we want you to have your say. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you could like the video, it would really, really help. That'd be amazing. Thank you very much. And also head over to Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter. And of course, as I said, lansdowneroar.e for loads of opinion. There's loads of reports. There's League of Ireland. And by the way, you can write about League of Ireland. You can write about schoolboy football, schoolgirl football. I don't get, as long as it's Irish football, the past, whatever. As long as you can string two sentences together. As I said, that precludes humor if you're watching. Get involved. We want you to, it's voluntary. We can't pay you anything, unfortunately, not yet. Hopefully. But if you just want something to do, you want to get involved with Irish football, and you'll have people. Trust me, people will read what you have to say. It's a great, and if you're just a student, Conor, as well, like you were once, you were. It'd be a fantastic. Conor wished he had this opportunity, didn't you, Conor?
I did. I wish I did.
Yep. So now you do as well. If you want to get involved and you want to get started in journalism, this is a great opportunity. So get involved there. Anyway, we're going to leave here. I'm David Dunn. He is Conor McAvoy. League of Ireland review out on Tuesday. We're also going to have another video coming out for you on YouTube. Top 10 breakout stars of League of Ireland. Conor, is it?
Yeah, 10 breakout stars. Might be a few more than 10, but we'll say it's 10.
No one has to do the video. It better be bloody just 10. No. I kid. Yeah, so loads of content coming out. And of course, we will be live again next Sunday. So anyway, we're going to leave you there. I'm David Dunn. He is Conor McAvoy. This is Lansdowne Roar. You're bloody wonderful. And we are out here. Good night. God bless.